Welcome back to the Always Aggressive podcast. Corey Palm, Tanner Lipset down there in the bottom corner. We got Coach Ersland and special guest this week, Max Lyon, joining us. Max, always great to see that smirk on your face, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right.
That's good. Have a good summer?
You know, it's a pretty good summer, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot, but I'm doing good.
We like that there's a lot. That means there's a lot to talk about.
I mean, yeah, there could be a couple things to talk.
Let me kick this to Ersland first. You recruited Max. You went back to the home state to go find Max. You know, not from the glorious hometown of Humboldt, but within the confines of the state. What was it about Max that made you think he was a Boilermaker?
Oh, he wrestled hard and he scored a lot of points, you know, and what I had known of him from talking to other people, coaches, obviously being from the state, I knew a lot of people who were connected to Max and knew the kind of kid he was and who he was as a person as well. Just kind of led me to believe he would be a great fit. And clearly, you know, you want to have people in your program who represent the kind of program you want to have, right? I mean, you got to be on the same page in terms of how you want to compete, how you want to train, the things that you value, and all of those things certainly checked out with Max. So we were very excited to have him join our program.
To fill in a little of the backstory there for people who don't know, Max has been a 4-year starter for us at 184 pounds, came in redshirt, went right away, 3-time national qualifier, has a huge list of academic awards, including Academic All-Big Ten, NWCA Scholar All-America, most recently a CoSIDA Academic All-District pick, flashed a 9.87 GPA in his undergrad, got his degree in, Max, you're going to have to do the degree for me. It's a long name.
Yeah, it's industrial management, and I have my concentration in supply chain and operations management.
There you go. So it's one of the longer ones on the website. His major takes up the full bar. Max is hang around for Max is going to hang around for a 5th year, take advantage of this COVID waiver, join his boy Devin Schroeder and give it one more go. Max, what went into that decision and how did you come to it?
I mean, we kind of talked about this before, but basically I didn't really think much of it when they told us about it initially. We had our season coming up. I was focusing on the now, like we're always taught to do, focusing on the season coming up. But after I started going,
somebody preaches that. I'm not sure who. There's somebody that preaches that all the time. I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Some dude, white hair. I don't know. I saw him on the street one time. Anyway, so that sort of stuff happened. But then I started getting questions about future stuff. Like I had companies asking, hey, can you commit to this 2-year position? I'm like, of course, I'm going to wrestle. I'm like, oh, well, yeah. Then I stopped to think about it. Well, I am going to wrestle. I don't know why I wouldn't. Like there was no hesitation there. So, yeah.
Tony, obviously, makes you pretty happy to have this guy around for another year.
Yeah, no, that goes without saying. I mean, as I said, like everything we recruited him, you know, because of what we thought he would be has been what it's been. And you love those guys to stick around. You know, it's another year for our young guys to be around somebody who walks the walk, right? They live to their beliefs, you know, and how he trains and how he thinks and how he goes about his business. That's all been awesome. And he's just continued to get better and better on the mat. I think last year, he had as many top 10 wins last year as he did in the entire, career possibly. And that was in a Big Ten season only. So, you know, I really think, you know, that he's going to realize a lot of his big goals this year. And I know he's in a really good place kind of mentally, emotionally, and physically with his position. And that's a big deal, right? Like to be in just a good space with, where you're at in life and what's coming is very important. And I think Max is in a really great space to kind of go realize some dreams before he moves on to the next stage of life.
Corey alluded to summer. Let's stay on summer. Tell us what you did this summer.
You talking about me?
No, I'm talking to
You're the
Ersland.
only
Come on,
guy we're
Max.
talking about today, buddy.
All
You're
right.
the guest
all
of
right.
honor,
Lucky
bro.
man.
Okay. Well, I didn't do a lot of sleeping this summer.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Basically, I worked 40 to 46 hours on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I was working at the Target Distribution Center as a warehousing intern. I'd get there around 3:34. I'd be there till in the evening, and then I'd leave at like 7:30 in the morning. And then I'd do it all over again, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then when I get off work on Tuesday morning, I'd come back to West Lafayette, sleep for 3.5 hours, and then I'd start my practice week at 2:00 on Tuesday afternoon. And that was my entire life. So
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
That reminds me of when I was a valet on Graveyard at a casino down in Biloxi, Mississippi at night, and then would coach high school basketball during the day. Those were some, like when you talk about sleep being optional, I can relate to that, Max.
There's a very verbal Kint vibe to that story, Tanner. I'm not sure I buy it.
It's fair. That's a great movie. That's a phenomenal movie reference, Corey. Good Lord.
Thank you. How was the internship, Matt? Or the job? Was it technically an internship? Was it a job?
it was an internship. Yeah, they bring you in, they train you up, and that's just kind of how it is.
Okay.
So, but it was good. I got a lot of experience with being on a team of like 35 people who aren't necessarily Division I athletes that are super motivated to reach their goals. It was interesting being in a slightly different environment that way. You can't approach things quite the same way as you can with the guys on the team. But no, it was a great learning experience. It taught me a lot about, just good company culture. There's ways to address issues that they talked about, that the conversations that I got to have with team members. I think it really helped me be a more well-rounded professional and individual in general. Like, I'm excited to use the tools that they gave me, honestly, here this next year and just going forward. So
Awesome.
Hey, a quick question for you too. You said now you were a part of 35 people. Did you oversee the 35 people? Did they report to you in essence? Did you manage them? Was that part of your job duties and responsibilities?
Yeah. By the end of the internship, it was my job to like create crew sheets, deal with attendance issues, quality issues. It was kind of me placing them in their roles so that we could meet our goals for the day as a building. So that was kind of what I was doing.
Okay. And I guess what I'm curious about, and you and I have talked about this a little bit, but I'm just more interested to know. You mentioned skills you learned on the job, right? It's why you take the internship to develop these skills. But did you feel like it was helpful, the fact that you've been on an athletic team, and even though they may not have been motivated like your teammates in some ways, was it useful to take some of those skill sets and the fact that you've been on a team for 4 years and use them kind of with your internship?
Oh, 100%. I think what I've learned at Purdue about, holding people accountable to what their job is, and just kind of help pushing people up, trying to give them the best opportunity to do their job as well as they can, was really helpful. Also, just when I was getting feedback on how I was doing, like we're very good at receiving strong feedback around here. So that was no issue when I was over at Target.
No, that's good. No, yeah, I'm always interested in, in how these, and I believe strongly that the things that you learn, through wrestling and sports, you can take in the real world, and it serves, right, both in terms of winning national titles and those things, as well as what it's going to do for you down the road. So that's good to hear.
So we established what the work side of the summer was. Let's go to the play side. How was the summer in the room?
I love the summer in the room. I really like this new group of young guys we brought in. I like that they were always willing to get extra drills in whenever. Honestly, sometimes they were helping me, pushing me. I was tired. Sometimes I thought I was just asleep, but Ben Venadia or Filipovich, they'd text me, "Hey, you want to get in?" I'm like, can't say no. So the answer is yes. Let's go and let's work on our skill sets, stuff like that. And I just really like the vibe of the group right now. Everyone's trying to work hard. Everyone's trying to push each other up. It was great. It was honestly just from a work standpoint and a culture standpoint. I thought this summer was exactly what we needed after COVID.
After you say after.
You're not getting that.
You talked to me a little bit, Max, the other day about this, and so I wanted to bring it up for the group. You said that you and Thomas Panola and maybe some other guys took some time to kind of try some new stuff and get in there and experiment with some new technique and some new positions. I guess I'd like to know, how that came about and what do you feel like you got out of it?
Yeah, so it basically came about because, excuse me, last season, right? Tom and I, we were in the room all the time, working on our skill sets. But again, it was just our skill sets, exactly what we were doing, and it felt like we were getting a little two-dimensional. So this summer, we're like, we're just gonna throw it to the wind, and we're not gonna have as much structure. So we'd go in there and we'd play with just dumb stuff, passing far ankles, rolling around, trying to trick each other into biting on fakes, and we do it for hours, just trying to see different ways we could get into positions and roll through stuff. And it wasn't completely unstructured. Like if we got to a spot where we're like, all right, how did this happen? Where do I go from here? We'd break it down a little bit or we'd bring it up to Ersland at practice times, things like that. But really it was a lot of fun. And on top of that, it was just, I felt like our knowledge of the sport, just both of us going forward, just through positions, it was helping. So we just kept doing it.
Tony, when you look at when you hear stories like this and you look at situations like this and you come with the full understanding that summer work and summer practice is 100% voluntary. These guys don't have to be here. They obviously, like Max said, they have other stuff going on with internships and classes and so on and so forth. As a coach, when you hear about stuff like this, how does it make you feel?
Well, I think it's just incredibly motivating. It's exciting, right? To know that these guys have taken accountability and responsibility for their sport and their careers. They understand it's in their hands and they're taking the time they're not just coming to practice and doing the minimum, right? I mean, they're investing in the sport in a lot of different ways that many of the kids don't and won't. So it's very motivating to know that we have leaders in our program who invest that way. And you heard they're pulling young kids with them, right? Like that's sustaining the culture that you're trying to build. So no, I'm pumped that Max is making himself better and he's showing the next group of guys what needs to be done to be successful. And that just makes me incredibly excited for the future and what this team's capable of doing. They have every reason to be confident, supremely confident in what's going to happen this year for themselves because of this.
Hey, Corey, when Max started talking about some of like the pass and the far ankle and some stuff like that, were you as lost as I was?
100%.
Okay,
as
good.
long as Max and Tony know what they're talking about, I'm good. I trust. Okay. I trust them.
I was trying to make sure I wasn't the dumbest guy in the room at that moment, but thank you for being on my level. I appreciate that. I don't feel as alone.
We're both dummies. We're both wrestling for dummies candidates right here.
Perfect. Good.
Max, I had a question. You've had your career, Tanner was running down the accolades. You slid into the starting lineup your true freshman year. And then I know, it's no giant secret, kind of spent the next, maybe not you, but there were discussions for the next 4 years. When are we going to get Max's red shirt? Because it's kind of unusual, less now so than it used to be, but it's kind of unusual to start from day one. And usually, guys like to get that year of growth, the year of just focusing on training and lifting and shaping their bodies and, all of that. And it never happened. That redshirt opportunity never presented itself in 4 years, but you're getting year 5 anyway. Does that make this kind of, do you savor things a little bit more now since it's not, it's like, okay, this is a bonus year. This is not a year you were supposed to get, it seemed. Do you savor those workouts now? Do you really look at it a little differently?
Oh, 100%. I mean, coach tells you this all 4 years. It goes by quick, and that to make the most of every opportunity in the room. And, you know, you kind of get what he's saying. He says it all the time. So you're like, all right, whatever. You start to tune him out. But once you get like me, right? Like you get another year, you're like, oh my gosh, this dude really, really does know what he's talking about. Like I go into that room and I'm like, this is basically the national tournament all over again. Like I got to do my best today to get as good as I can so that I'm going to be ready for tomorrow for when I do it again, because there's limited times left. That clock's ticking. It's running out. You got to do it now.
It's funny, you know, it's super cliche, but it goes fast, right?
I tell you what, that's you hope guys figure this out right before it's too late. And Max has figured this out by obviously he has, right? From everything we're talking about, he's done a tremendous job, but you know, that's the whole point of this is you want guys to grasp and have the maturity to see this isn't going to last forever. And you truly do got to make the most of every opportunity because nothing's granted. You know, I mean, it just never is. And even more so with COVID, we learned. So I'm glad that he's figured this out and the attitude that he has, you know what I mean? I mean, I think he's in an incredibly, again, I said this, so I'm repeating it, but I always over communicate. Max knows this. I repeat things a lot, but to be in a good emotional space with what you have left and what you can do and the opportunity that you have to want to make the most of that from a great space, right? Not a panic space, but just, hey, this is a bonus year and I can let this all hang out and I've done everything I can is incredibly free and should make these guys incredibly confident as they go through the year.
Max, a follow-up to that, you know, in admitting that you have figured some of this out and you have a grasp on this, how do you get the younger guys to understand that Ersland does in fact know what he's talking about and it does go fast and you know, some of these things, like you said, you roll your eyes sometimes or you tune him out, but you know, you figured out it's right. Like, how do you make the other guys realize that?
I just feel like, again, he does a great job of communicating. He over communicates. He's talking at us all the time. And like some kids start taking for granted the wisdom that this guy has. Like he's been coaching longer than everyone's been alive on the team, except Devin probably at this point. But
we've established anyway. He's old. He's old. Oh, yeah, for sure.
For sure. Anyway.
Transitioning on another point to show that Max has got it together here. Max got engaged after the season here. First of all, congrats, Max. I mean, I've told you before, but you know, we'll give you the podcast congrats. And tell us a little bit about your engagement and the not so lucky lady.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got engaged, I think, what was it? May of this year.
Instagram says it was May.
Yeah, it was May. I don't know. I've deleted Instagram. I'm taking a break. I had a post in the last 4 years, so it's just time for me to sign off for a little bit. But anyway, yeah. I guess for the people on podcasts that don't know, I posted for the first time in like 4 or 5 years for the engagement. It's pretty cool if I do say so myself. But yeah, no.
I was impressed, Max. It looked like you knew what you were doing in posting, honestly.
I had help. I'm not going to lie.
Must have been her.
Tom helped me a little bit.
Okay.
He's a little more social media savvy than I am. So, but no.
Yeah. Tell me more. Come on. Give us a little more here. Like it's not, you didn't just, this is not a small thing, Max. You're
right.
The rest of your life to another person.
Okay. So we've been dating since freshman year of high school. I'll start with that. By the time I proposed, we had been dating 7 years. The day I proposed, it was her first day of work on the labor and delivery unit at Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis. She got home from work after working a shift, and you know, I did the whole thing. There was candles lining the hallway, there was rose petals there, and there's music playing or whatever. And yeah, we got it done. You know what I mean? I was just living true to always aggressive. So I did it aggressive.
Go big.
The always aggressive proposal by Max Lyon. I love it.
Yeah, and I will say, from what I know, Emma is been tremendous for Max and the guys. You know, she's been around these guys quite a bit, and I appreciate her steady influence with them. It sounds like she's been a tremendous addition, and not only for Max, but probably the guys on the team as well, from what I hear and what I gather. So we appreciate her helping keep these guys in line and on the straight and narrow.
Absolutely. Max, do you guys have a date?
Yes, we do. July 23rd of 2022. So that's when we're doing it.
You guys going to get hitched here or back in Iowa?
We're going to be back in Iowa. We're going to get hitched in her hometown at the ceremony is going to be at the Catholic church there in town that we've both been to when we were smaller. And then there's a community center also in that town where we're going to have our reception. So.
Awesome. Good times. And then your plan is your guys' plan is to stick around for a little longer after you're done here, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've been telling her this for a couple of years. And again, she's been super supportive. I really appreciate it that I'm like, yeah, I didn't redshirt, and I'm going to have people I came in with they're going to be still going when I'm done. And I don't feel good leaving the area until they're done wrestling. Like I'm going to see that through. And I mean, she came down here. We have a great friend system. So, we're going to be here for at least a couple more years. So I'm excited about that. Stay close to the guys, stay close to the team, especially the guys that I know and came up with. It'll be good.
That's good. She is gainfully employed. It sounds like you're going to be too.
Yep. We'll be all right.
This poor girl's got 2 full-time jobs. She works at the hospital and she got to keep you straight. So.
Oh, 100%.
And she's got to hang out with a bunch of wrestlers, you know.
She loves to work.
Super great.
It's impressive. But yeah, Max, you were offered and have accepted a position for after you're done wrestling. Future is planned.
Yep, it is. Future is planned. But we have a starting point, right? That's where we're at. So
yes.
Yep.
Tell us about the job.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's interesting. It's they offered me the position, right? They
mean
Target, yeah, and they're like,
the listeners don't know, Max. I know, but the people don't know, and the people want to know.
Sorry, people, my mistake. Anyway, no, yeah. So Target offered me the position. They offered me a position as operations manager. The only thing that I don't know is they're like, yeah, we really want you. We don't have a position right now, but there's going to be one. So the first opening, basically, I don't know which department. They're like, you learn warehousing really fast. We think we can put you anywhere. And then they're like, we're gonna work on you whichever shifts you want when stuff becomes available, because we're making lots of moves right now. You guys probably don't know much about Target, but I do now. And their stock price is like tripled in like last couple of years. They're adding a bunch of positions. They're doing really well. So
great company to work for too. I've heard from several folks over the years. So.
But yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's kind of weird. Like my mom's first job out of college was at Target, and now my first job out of college is at Target. So it's just, kind of coming full circle.
So was Wendy excited about this? Did this get her motor running? I mean, she probably approved, I got to imagine.
Yeah, she was excited about it. She's like, it's a great company to work for, good company culture. You'll learn a lot about management while you're there. And that's honestly why I did the internship. I'm like, all right, sure, I'll give it a whirl. And then, when they said they'd work with my workout schedule, because I'll be honest, I don't know if I would have done an internship if I couldn't work out here at Purdue. Probably not. So yeah, I was really grateful that that all worked out. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Man, I don't know how much other stuff Ersland did allude to. Let's crack this thing open. Ersland alluded to the fact that you and he are planning on writing a book.
Oh yeah.
Tell us more about this and where this is going.
Well, basically, you can tell. Earth, go ahead.
Off to a great start.
Well,
guys.
so I'm throwing Max under the bus a little bit on the spot, but he probably doesn't realize that on some level I'm very serious about this. So Max has been obviously with me a long time, and I think we're kindred spirits. We see and view a lot of things the same way, and he is, like I said, he's a sharp guy. So we've had a lot of experiences that are funny moments through the years with teammates and team situations, both good and bad, right? Good and bad. And he's sharp enough to remember and bring these things to me up, when we're on the road or we're talking on the phone and stuff. And I only thought it was apropos that Max go in with a book on me. We've even come up with a few chapters here and there and chapter names. So I don't think it's too far a leap that once he's off the team and he's done, we're going to start putting this thing together. And the fact that he's sticking around is only going to help lend to this project.
Max, I'd love to hear your take on this book.
Look, I mean, I think the book's going to be cool. I'm not going to lie. So basically, a while ago, I started writing stuff down that Ersland says. I'm like, this dude has a lot of experiences. He has a lot of stuff, a lot of stories about guys on the team, some good, some bad, but you can learn from a lot of it. Like, I think this would be valuable for people. Honestly, the only people who might buy it would be me and his mom. I don't know, but I still think the book is going to be cool. So, yeah, I mean,
an audience of 2, I like it.
Hey.
So if we sell 3, we did great in my opinion, right?
I mean, when we finish the book, I'll give it a better evaluation. But
that's fair.
We'll let Corey and Tanner catch up and give us, an opinion on it. They can do a proofread for us.
I would be down for that, Corey.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
I like it. I do have to say, Max, our drive back from Iowa City this summer with you and I and Parker and Vega, if the book lends anything to the way some of those conversations went, I think you'll be really successful. I think, my stomach hurt from laughing, or the Taco Bell. I'm not sure which. On the way home on that trip, that was a very fast 6-hour drive.
I just feel like I'm going to lend a unique perspective to Ersland's coaching style. I just feel like I have that insight.
Well, I'm there for it. Corey, you got anything else for my man Max here?
I want to jump on board with the opinion that Max has been one of my favorite people. I talk to a lot of student athletes across a lot of different sports. That's my job, and Max is always one of my favorites because you never know what's coming out of his mouth. You can ask him and we've seen it here today. You ask him just the most basic question, and you're not getting a canned response. You're getting a thoughtful answer, and sometimes it's off the wall. Sometimes it's right down the middle. It's been a pleasure. I can't wait for the next 10 months or so and to see where the season goes. Also, one of the your bio sheet, I bring it up every time I call one of your matches. You're from Dyersville. Your hometown's gotten a lot of attention in recent weeks with the Field of Dreams game going on there a week or two ago. I have to ask you, is that something cool? Is it a point of pride to be from there? Or is it just kind of annoying at this point in your life?
I mean, I like the Field of Dreams. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. You watch the movie, you go to the Field of Dreams. You're like, yeah, that was my high school in the movie. And my mom's like, yeah, I was in the line of cars at the very last scene when it was dark and all the headlights were there. So I feel it's a point of pride. I haven't been there since all of the renovations have gone up. And I obviously saw clips from the game. I'm like, oh, I need to get back to the Field of Dreams. That looks cool.
It's a lot different now. What's cool? The Field of Dreams or the National Toy Tractor Museum?
Oh, you mean the National Farm Toy Museum?
Thank you. I knew I'd get that wrong.
National Toy Show. The National Toy Show is actually on my birthday. It usually starts the first weekend of June. So there's always a bunch of people in town on my birthday. But I will say this: the Field of Dreams is like an Iowa movie, and it's way better than Hoosiers, 100%.
Whoa.
Controversial words. There he goes.
See, I told you, you never know what's coming out of his mouth. I'm 100% on board. 100%.
Max, no.
Hey, we are wrestlers. I know.
We're going to have to do a Twitter poll.
Yes.
Yeah, Max, you're going to lose. I mean, there's
better sports movie, Field of Dreams,
or Hoosiers. It's not even close.
I agree.
You're a basketball guy. You're not going to be objective about this.
That may or may not be true, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong.
I think it's worth the poll. We should really do this.
We got to take it to the people.
I'll take it to the people. That's fine.
We'll get that Twitter poll. We'll come back with the results. There may be some Twitter poll voting shenanigans.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm going to have to figure out how to rig it to win, but I don't care.
I'm not even going to see it. I don't have a Twitter, so.
That's a true story. Max will not be able to participate in said poll.
Your official name is Twitterless Max Lyon, I think. Max, you got anything else you want to throw out there?
Max, this is your chance to put Ersland on the hot seat. You got anything for him?
Gosh, I don't really have anything for Ersland. I'm just excited to compete, man. Like, it's been so long since we've gotten our hands on dudes. Like, it's just time.
Yep. Don't worry. We're going to have fun. I got all kinds of fun planned for you guys.
Oh, I know you do. I'm kind of scared.
All kinds.
I'm not sure your definition of fun is, the same as the rest of us.
Well, I can promise there's going to be a lot of hard work, but there's also going to be a lot of fun. Because
Max fun.
This is a great group, and I'm excited to get these guys back in and have fun and work hard.
What's fun is standing on a podium in March. That's fun.
True.
There you go.
I will tease before we wrap up. I will tease working on a feature piece on Max and Devin Schroeder about the two of them coming back for their extra year of eligibility. Hoping to publish that here in the next week or so. But had a really, a little hat tip to Max. Those two made it really easy to tell their story, and they have a lot of great things to say about wrestling, about the program, and about each other. So I'm excited to get that out there for people to read.
Good stuff. We'll have that coming to you on prettysports.com and all the various social media channels. Max, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Tanner, Tony, let's do this again sometime. Everybody have a great week. Boiler up.